to Soul Wanderings, heard on Wednesday night. It's Wednesday night wanderings time. I am AJ,
And I am Natalie.
and we have arrived.
Here we are.
Natalie and I were just in the other room chatting, and we're like, oh, it's time. It is time to do the thing. And we
Here we
made it
go.
just in the nick of time. Literally. Literally. I love that for us. Hopefully, you love that for you. Hi, everyone. Welcome. We are hanging out on YouTube and Facebook on Soul Wanderings. We are really new to the platforms on our own. So if you feel inclined to, please like, subscribe, share, comment, etc., etc. You can click on all of our social media links there at soulwanderings.com, as well as learn more about the two of us and what we are up to. We hang out at this really cool place during the day called Vibes, Mind, Body, Spirit, where we assist others in their spiritual and healing journeys. We help people navigate their way through the mind, body, spirit, and heart matters. And it's so good. We love what we do and the opportunity we have to show up. And we get to hang out with you every week. Like this tonight.
Casual.
About
Hang out.
just hanging out, talk about all kinds of topics. And the topic tonight we are going to talk about is the law of attraction. And I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, have heard about the law of attraction and maybe just not quite sure what it is, what it means, how it works. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight because Natalie and myself like to live in this energy field. It's so good and yummy. We have lived it previous and during, so we know both sides of the topic very well because it's just part of the human experience
Definitely is.
to lean in or not.
Oh, and then I get to weave the human design aspects in.
And Natalie will weave the human design aspects in. She'll do that. And I'm going to just be here.
Oh. Okay, I think that maybe you don't necessarily trust, but you are the manifestor.
I do
The one
trust.
that literally can initiate, and it's lovely to say, it's like, oh, just be here. And it's like, that's right, like you always do. Doing the dance and
yeah, I am. I'm just here. That's what I'm doing. I just am here. So
you're just here. Do without
yeah,
doing.
here. I'm here.
Be here
I'm
now.
here. I'm present. I'm here in the moment. I'm in the now with all of you. So the law of attraction, that can mean so many things to so many people unless you've
Definitely.
actually practiced it um, and kind of receive the concept of that. You may not understand the greatness behind the law of attraction.
That's right. Or all the nuances of actually clearing the path
Yeah.
for what it is that's well, removing the obstacles that blocks your way to the thing that you would think that you want, and then seeing what the universe actually brings to you, and then go, is that what I'm attracting? Okay, is that the right thing for me? Is this not? All these nuances.
Yeah,
That
there are.
when we practice it.
It. I wasn't meaning to talk over you. I was just yes, agree. I love how I agree out loud when I need to be just like
No. Well,
Natalie knows how I operate. So grateful.
yes, I do. It's like, don't silence your voice. We do this dance. I think we do a dance really well, you and I.
You
This
are my
little
favorite dance partner.
You, yes. Dance parties in the kitchen or wherever else we can have a dance party.
Yeah.
Do.
What was that? That was cute. Let's talk about law of attraction. Do you want to give an introduction?
Well, let's see. How would I want to introduce this? Yes, I do want to do the introduction. So, the things that I've personally discovered is that the universe really does provide and bring anything to you. Like the universe really brings things to us. And very specifically, the generators, it's waiting to for something to show up into your external world. And with the law of attraction, it says, look, if you just say and put what it is that you're looking to gain in your life, the levels you would like to achieve, the different attributes that you'd like to have, the qualities of partnership or teamwork or any of those things, you put it out there in the vortex. Put it out there. And then watch for it to show up. Watch for it to show up. Now, the universe is funny because it doesn't
I'm
always
like,
send
it's
you.
not that easy, actually.
It doesn't always send you in a particular way that you think that it's going to be. It doesn't send you like exactly that way. It will send you some. It will send like you will attract things that you put out there in the vortex.
Did you say it will send you thumps?
No, things.
Oh, thanks. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, the articulation tonight. It was so weird because just through this whole thing, I was having a complete deja vu. I don't know what that exactly means, but that was super wild. Even including you looking the other way. I was like, what?
Like,
Oh my
what?
goodness, I've been here before. Work.
You have last week, same time.
Right, but I'm not sure that was the exact verbiage. Okay, so the law of attraction, you put something out there in the vortex, and then for those of us that are generators or manifesting generators, we wait to respond when it shows up out in our external world, somewhere outside of us. The things will show up. Some of the things that I'd like to bring up in our discussion about the law of attraction is that that what shows up in your external world as you're doing the work, or you put something out there in the vortex, and it's like that's not what I asked for. And so what shows up is a demonstration of the point of your attraction. So what comes to you in your external world is what you're attracting. Now, this is the finessing the law of attraction. So, this is the universe provides and guides. What's showing up in my life is there for me to learn from, interpret, experience, and tune myself to get where I'm going, where I think that I want to achieve a certain level. So money's a really good analogy or an example to say, look, okay, I want $1 million. Well, if you don't know how to handle $2,000, so how are you treating your money? Can you hold your $2,000? Can you be responsible? Whatever that is, are you always in lack? Do you realize that there's a never-ending supply of money? Maybe your $1 million is going to come over a period of time. Who knows what it is as far as the universe goes? But then, if you have blockages about money, then you're going to need to clear those up to clean up what you're being what's showing up in your external world. This is a complicated topic, really, to put into simple terms. It's a simple topic lived out complexly, if we want to put it that way. So one of the things about learning about the law of attraction is that yes, you can put things out in the vortex. You can develop your vision board. You can establish what it is that you think you want, and then you see what the universe is bringing you. And from seeing that, you're going to have an idea about your own point of attraction. And oftentimes you're called to adjust and clean and clear up some aspects within your own life to get there. Does that make sense?
It makes sense to me, but I'll tell you, In the beginning of my journey, when people would talk like this, I was very confused and it didn't make a lot of sense in the space I was at that time. So I hear you and I understand you now, but I also, like, for those of you who are maybe never have heard of the law of attraction before or are new into this type of energy, um, I think it's a lot of people get discouraged because they're like, oh, it's the law of attraction. I'll think it and so it will be. I'll feel it and so it will happen. I'll say some affirmations and then I'll start to have those experiences. And it isn't quite like that. So I like how
Yeah.
you said it'll match your energy. So if you're manifesting or you're desiring to attract a certain amount of money because we're using the topic of money is I got distracted by a comment. Charles, I adore you. So when you're wanting having this desire to attract a certain thing, you've got to do the work behind it. Oh my goodness, Maria's here tonight. Hey girl. So I think that people forget that just because you have the desire and the intention, that means you don't have to do the work, but there's absolutely work that needs to happen in that scenario. It's just like when The Secret came out and everyone got on board and made these vision boards and like, I have it on a board. I created my vision board. Why are these things not happening? One of the things that I thought was a really cool experience, because I was in a mind and body program, a 90-day mind and body program at the time, and we did these vision boards, was, say, like, I would love to have a Corvette. I love vets so much. I'm borderline obsessed with vets, like not new ones. Like I like the old 50s and 60s Corvettes. They're just so, like, on the vision board one day, like if that's what I put on my vision board, just putting a picture on there alone isn't really going to do much. If you go and um actually, like, sit in the vehicle and take your picture in the vehicle and act as if it's already yours, like bring that energy in, like this is already mine. I love the way it feels. I love the way it smells. I love how smooth the ride is. I love how beautiful the body is. Like, feel like, take it all in. The energy increases. All this positive energy comes around this attraction that you're desiring. And I think that's what people forget. They just say something and like it's a wish and like it's going to come true. But no, you literally have to do some work behind it. So I just want to say that on top of what you said, does it make sense? Yes, it makes sense. And also do the work. Learn to manage your $1 million. Like, what would you do with that kind of money?
Yeah, that's right. Whatever it is that you're looking to achieve and include in your life, you really have to live as if it is already
Mm-hmm.
in your framework. Because for us to level up, we're often challenged and we have to grow in various aspects. It all depends on what it is that we're looking to achieve
Mm-hmm.
within our life. You know, if we can't have healthy relationships within the framework of where we currently are, how could we have a healthier relationship to come to us? You know, are you being that partner that would be to the level of the person that you're looking to partner with, that you would want to bring in? If it's just like, if you want your own place, are you taking care of wherever you live currently to be able to take care of your own place? There's all this, like, literally being able to level up. And that's generally what people are attracting, is like, I want to level up. I want it to be different than it is now. And it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't really take a lot, I mean, a lot of necessarily effort if you're just regular and consistently
Mm-hmm.
living as if that you already going to have that. Then then you would have less mind chatter. You're not going to be blocking yourself in a mental way. You're not going to talk in an uncaring way, even to yourself. All these things that we've talked about on a regular basis, these are all things that keep us from that life that we have the potential to live.
Exactly. Exactly. Law of attraction also doesn't mean that you're desiring $1 million or a new Corvette.
No.
It could just simply mean that you're desiring joy, that you're desiring a new blanket for your bed. It doesn't have to be major.
No.
It can be as little or as big as you choose it to be. We're so good at overcomplicating. Isn't that the truth? I'm guilty of that, definitely. Um, what do you feel about or not manifestations, affirmations when it comes to the law of attraction? Do you think vision boards or, you know, saying affirmations or writing down affirmations help with the energy?
So throughout my life, I have definitely utilized affirmations. Maybe somewhere on one of the shows that I've been with Soul Wanderings, I talked about um, the Optimist Creed. That in my 20s, I memorized the Optimist Creed. And the first line is, promise yourself to be so strong that nothing disturbs your peace of mind. And then it goes on with similar things to talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person you meet. And so there are all these lines that are positive, affirming. I'm promising myself that I'm going to be optimistic in all these different ways. I can tell you that just my willingness to memorize it and to recount within my mind in my difficult times, I promised myself to be so strong. First of all, promised myself to be strong. So strong that nothing will disturb my peace of mind. Does that mean that I'll have no disturbances in my peace of mind? No. It just means that I'm going to be strong in the face of anything that could disturb it and say, you don't get to have my peace of mind because that's mine. That's the kind of affirming language that if you don't have it in your mind, our minds are so programmable, so programmable.
Mm-hmm.
There's just the way that we're built. So affirmations do help move you to that next level thinking. You have to eliminate the lower level thinking to include the higher level thinking. I mean, not necessarily hierarchical, but there's that type of thing. Oftentimes, there's a lot of people who will play games, and then if you level up to the next level, there's always more of a challenge at the next level.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way this human experience often is that we have to work to develop. So I've never really used vision boards. I've heard, I've gone to
It's not
different
really for
seminars and
you and
stuff.
your design to
It
do.
is no.
No.
No, I mean yes, because I have an undefined heart. So for me to correlate or to curate or to develop some sort of want and desire, it's not the way I'm driven. And so it tends to go against my nature to drive that type of thing. But with vision boards, the one thing I really heard in a seminar was that you put up a vision board and then every day for 5 or 10 minutes, you sit in front of that vision board and you write down any negative thought or a thought that actually would block your getting that thing. And you write that on the piece of paper and you throw it away. And then the next day, you do the same thing. You sit in front of that vision board and you work on purposefully eliminating any thought that would restrict you getting there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the work of where you're just like willingly to write it down, throw that thought away.
That's cool. I never thought of it that way. That's really cool.
So that was going right along with the let's remove any negative thinking through this practice.
Mm-hmm.
Don't underestimate the discipline it requires to gain the next level.
Mm-hmm.
like some discipline. Some changes will have to be made.
You're right. Absolutely. Because you got to match the vibe.
Yes.
Got to match the vibe. And the other thing, like when I first stepped into this awareness of the law of attraction, I actually was very blessed to receive so much in the beginning. And when I say blessed to receive so much, I meant a lot of lessons because I wasn't clear and detailed in what I was manifesting, what I was wanting to attract. You get what you ask for. And so be very, 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 very specific. Oh, yep. And breathe in your throat. You also have to be careful what you wish for. Yes. It's true. I think it's so important with like it is all about intention and all of the things that Natalie has said. And also be very, very detailed. Like when I say you have to smell it and taste it and feel it, use all of your senses. What does that look like? What does that feel like? Use the details. The details are very important. Sometimes you'll get more or less than you bargained for.
There is also an awareness that the universe can send you what's even greater than you could know, that you would be good for you. The universe says, I'll send you this in. So with the law of attraction and adjusting your point of attraction, this says, okay, if you're meeting, and a lot of times people will have resistance to people within their life. So I'll just bring this up because this is a very common thing with humans, that will have resistance to what's shown up in our life. And there's some resistance to that. And so working through different resistance to people. Don't underestimate the power of loving what we have currently in our life and then stepping beyond that. So that is to say that if there's someone around you that's annoying you, they're there for a purpose and a reason. And there's so many ways that it could be displayed or talked about, not displayed, that's not the right word, that we could talk about it, that are so individualized, it's difficult in a general conversation to cover every nuance that someone out there listening to us will experience. So I'll simplify it to say, if there's some resistance in you, there's something to take note of there. Now, whatever it is that's going on in your life, the challenges are there for us to learn from. Everything in our life is there for us. If you are in that space that says everything's to you, then you got a little bit more work to do.
And that's okay.
Yes, everything is okay. Like it's all good. It's all on point.
Yeah, just sending the reminder. Yeah, it's okay.
That's okay. That's okay. There's times where if you think about resistance, that if you're floating down a river and you got your feet upstream, you're definitely going to not navigate that as smoothly as if you just turn around and go with the flow of life, and go with the flow of the river and less resistance. I have also talked about in the times that I've worked with people about this concept of acceptance. If I accept the way my life currently is, then I'll have a stable foundation to move into this next phase that'll come with the things that I want to attract towards me. And so learning to be satisfied. Now, in the teachings of Abraham Hicks, Abraham says, if you can't be satisfied here, you won't be satisfied there.
Yep, because no matter where you go, there you are.
That's right.
It's so true.
Find a level of satisfaction where you currently are, and you still put things out in the vortex. And then when it comes, you've already learned how to be satisfied. That's quite a thing to understand, that satisfaction is an important part of this process. love and accept the life that I currently have.
Well, and we've talked about gratitude before, how when you stand in a space of gratitude, you receive more abundance on whatever platform that is that you're grateful for.
Yeah.
And it is so true. I've lived my life in a state of gratitude for a while now. And literally, I have everything I need. I don't know how it happens, but it happens. And I'm so grateful. It is so magical when you just shift your I would even say your timeline. Just you shift into a different state of energetic frequency,
Yeah.
and things are just really quite magical when you get out of your own way. I was gonna read this just because I saw it. It was in my online board thing that I have. The law of attraction. To master the law of attraction, start by clearly defining what you want and focusing on the feeling of already having it. A positive mindset is key. So replace negative thoughts with affirmations and maintain an attitude of gratitude. It's essential to take inspired action, small steps that align with your desires, while trusting that the universe will bring things to you at the right time. Let go of the need to control how everything unfolds and stay open to unexpected opportunities. By practicing gratitude daily and staying positive, you align yourself with the energy needed to attract your goals into reality.
That is so good.
I loved that. Oh, I don't need this on my head. And I think gratitude has so much to do with the law of attraction. I think it's a major key component in the steps.
That's definitely true.
Maria
I know
says, like everything comes to you as you need it, not when you want it.
there is a difference between timing. Timing, that was one of the things that you just said. It will bring it in its time.
Right. But also, there's a different frequency to need and want.
Yes.
There's a different vibration energetically to the words that we use when we're working in this type of energy. The words are very important.
Now you may need to learn more, listen to different things too, because if it's not clear, if it's not intellectually clear, these are concepts that people can practice at over a whole lifetime.
Mhm.
And there's a learning curve to a lot of the things to get our mind on board with understanding energy flow versus intellectualization of something. This is a process that you just don't think yourself to.
Mhm.
Like it's really
But
interacting.
I think that's where the confusion happens. Like I said, like in the beginning when I was
Mhm.
doing this, because we're told on shows like The Secret and other places, just think it and it will happen. Just dream it and it will be. Whatever terminology they use, it's not that. It doesn't really work out that way. And that's why people they get discouraged and they're just like, it doesn't work for me. It didn't work for me. I don't understand it. It just and then they think that you're on drugs, like you're just imagining all of this greatness coming into your life. You know what I'm
Well, I do know what you're saying. Here's part of the aspect of that that said, okay, if you think it, it will come. Okay.
saying?
That is an aspect of life, and that's always on. So if you think it and it will come, and you have negative thinking and you get negative things, that's the thing. If you think it, it will come. So this is why we clean it up.
Mhm.
Because if you think it, it will come. So if you think negative, it will come. So that's it. That's it.
It is. That's
Always
why I'm
working.
smiling. It is that simple.
So I remember, so when I was a much younger woman, I learned about the rule of three that says, ever mind the rule of three. What you put out comes back to thee. And this was part of understanding my point of attraction and the law of attraction. So
Mhm.
what I put out, this is where this is where I learned personal accountability, started really growing and being fully responsible for my point of attraction, was understanding this rule of three. If I'm putting out, so clean it up. It does not matter what I would say, I didn't say it out loud, but I was feeling it on the inside. And we're feeling it on the inside. That's frequency.
It's
That's what
still.
goes out of our aura. That's what
Mhm.
gets pushed into other people, is what we have inside of us, what defines us, or the way we keep the inside house actually matters, because there's no, you can't lie frequency. You can't fake it.
Yeah. That's just like when someone you say, "How are you?" and they're like, "Oh, I'm good." Are you though? Because I can feel you.
It's also what I really learned about working it among energy sensitives. That is
Mhm.
like, oh, they can see me. Okay. Well, I'm not going to carry any false pretense, because what's the point of that? If we were all, if we were all energetically visible, which we are to certain people, then it's like, oh, there's no hiding frequency. So let me just work in an authentic way and just own up to whatever frequency. And then I am willing and responsible and able to clear and clean up what I've got going on. And I can trust people that are around me that feed me back. It's like, thank you for showing me that there's something that needs to be just tuned in my frequency. Thank you. Thank you,
Mhm.
universe, for showing me that my point of attraction can be tuned a bit. Thank you. Like, I would
Mhm.
like less static in my life. I like a life that it has way less static, where things are more clear,
Mhm.
and I'm receiving and and interpreting and seeing in a way that I can understand. That's even I had a good friend that would say to me, "Please show me in a way that I can understand with ease and grace, please."
Mhm. I always say that. Allow me to learn this lesson with ease and grace.
Because they can give it to you without it or with it.
Yeah. I I I think another thing is whoops, sharing all these. I'm trying to multitask. That's a lot of work. Hi, Keith. There we go. That was so much easier. And and I got distracted. Whoa. I obviously am not grounded today. And hopefully it's entertaining. Going back to if uh, ease and grace. The other thing that I like to say when I am working with the law of attraction and manifesting is always asking like all of the details specifically, like I explained earlier, be very specific. I would like this or better, this
Mm.
or better. So it also means like you may want to have like a certain experience or a certain item or the $1,000,000 we were talking about, and that's all good and dandy. But what if your frequency shifted so much that the universe was like, that's it? That's all you want? But
Mm.
I'm willing to give you more. But you're just asking for this. So I'm just going to give you this. So consider when you do that type of work that you can also say this or better at the end of it because the universe loves to provide.
It does.
Yeah, it loves to provide. And so allow it to.
So, yes. So I have a question about, like, have you ever experienced a state of overwhelm for the generosity of the universe? Like, the
I feel
abundance can
like
be
that every
so
day,
much.
actually. I'm not kidding you. I feel like that every day, even on my challenging days where there are days where I struggle like with things like physically. and I all slur, or I can't walk well because of the experiences that I go through. And I'm also like, thank you. Like, I'm just overwhelmed with gratitude that like I'm still here having this human
Mm,
experience. And like literally when I say like, I live in a state of gratitude, it is probably my biggest practice out of everything else that I do because I love the way it feels. I
mm.
love the way it feels.
So I was just what came to intuitively like, why don't we all just be frequency snobs? Like, love the way that the higher realm, the different frequencies feel that we're just like, okay, well, we're doing that. Like to be so full of gratitude that you can love and accept anything that's happening in your life.
Mhm.
Because
Oh,
that's
here's a comment. Hi, Jill. Welcome. We need to create a guided collective consciousness day, time for the good of all.
well,
We
isn't
can
that
we can
every
create that
day?
right here and right now. Let's
It's every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Mountain
when
Time. That's our consciousness day and
that's
time.
exactly what I was gonna say. I'll create that now here on at Vibes on Soul Wanderings. Thank you, Jill, for the feedback. I agree. And you know, what's beautiful about anything that we talk about and anything, especially tonight with the topic of law of attraction, if you want to create an environment in your community, in your own communities, or with your people, or you want it to outreach even more, the law of attraction is a beautiful tool for you to manifest that. To think about that.
I love it.
We're all spread out all over the country. I know we even have listeners like in the UK, and like let's give a shout out to Andy. He's listening over there, and I know we have some listeners over in Australia because they'll connect with us on our email. But um, there is a way for all of us to be that light, to be that connective person in our communities and raise the consciousness, raise the vibe in the areas in which we reside. And could you imagine if we were all like planted? I dream about this reality because it outside of Earth, this is how it is. And here we are in this beautiful space. I love Earth so much. I love being a human. It's so much fun. And we forget how magical we are.
Hmm.
And 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 we drop the ball, right? We don't understand that we are conscious beings and that we're all connected. So if we have that person over here and that person over here and us over here, and we all just start spreading this awareness out, eventually these circles connect and we have like real life human connection happening. Could you imagine? Ah, that would be so good.
Well, we do. And we work on spreading our what kind of contagion can you be? And that's the attractiveness. So the law of attraction says we all have points of attraction. How attractive are you to literally be that magnetic personality? And we all have magnetic aspects of us.
Mhm.
So we have in the human designers talks about this magnetic monopole where it pulls it only goes one way. It just attracts. That's our point of attraction that's talked about in all the law of attraction aspects. It's there. And the more clean and clear our frequency is, the different types of things that are literally coming in and out of our vortex. It really does. You and I have been through this process where we've been in life in periods of our life where there's been more struggle, more strife, more difficulty. And it just in my personal life, that just doesn't happen as much anymore.
Mhm.
So as you work, you change up your point of attraction, what comes around you changes. It's that's why they call it a law.
Mhm.
It's a law. It's just
Mhm.
the way that it works here. And there's contrast here on this plane of existence. We do live in a duality of this and that, and this and that.
Correct.
Um, so we got to work within that framework, and we're inherently in forms that are limited in somewhat of our nature. But through those limitations, we actually gain this magic aspect where we learn to be within the framework of a limited forms to the most that we can. So we have to clean it. So because there's these limitations, that's the part that said, oh, there's an obstacle. But then we we remove those obstacles and we make them stepping stones. So we climb instead of stumble. We take these obstacles and we lay them down and we make foundation, we step up. That's what we do when we learn life's lessons. The universe says, obviously, you're going to have to learn how to handle this difficult person to get to the next thing, to
Mhm.
get to the everything in my life has really truly been for me. But when I'm in it, in the thick of things, I can't from that moment interpret what this experience is really like, what it's going to be for me until I go all the way through the experience and gain the wisdom on the other side that then I'll use at the next level.
Right.
You're bombarded with. Do you know what? I have a good answer for this question. You
Well,
asked the
let's
question.
say the question first for
Yeah.
listeners who are just listening and not reading. How do
Mhm.
you use the law of attraction when you are bombarded with negativity?
So I had a friend who used to just, when he would text me, he was just in this negative loop, negative loop, negative loop. So one time I said, okay, well, I am just going to blast you with rainbows and kittens. And I sent him meme after meme after meme of positivity until he said, okay, stop, just stop.
I would tell you to stop too. My favorite, and it came from someone very near and dear and very special, told me that like she was going through this crisis with what's going on in the world. And like she's in it, and it is some really heavy negative energy. And I just kept saying, but when you look at it from this point of view, but what about this point of view? And I feel like this is really good, or this is going to happen. Like I'm just coming back with all of these opposite from her energy. And she said, your love and light is not going to save the world. And I said, haha, watch and wait. Wait and watch how this works. It will, it will change the world. But not just mine alone. Like I'm obviously not doing it by myself.
Yeah. So there is a teaching that said when you change the way you look at something, that thing changes. It's the quantum. People that are familiar with quantum physics know the observer always changes the experiment.
Mhm.
It's the way this world works. So if you're bombarded with negativity, what came to mind was I saw this little book one time. It was Richard Bach is one of my favorite authors, and he wrote this little book. And I don't know if it's not one of his more well-known books, but this book said, "Thank my wicked parents," and it was full of gratitude statements for difficult life situations, or thank my wicked parents for teaching me how not to parent, or
Mhm.
so the if you're bombarded by negativity, then gratitude definitely is. You can be grateful for the negative so that you can see what positive is. It's not an easy situation if you're bombarded with negativity, for sure.
And also respond with positivity because you can neutralize the energy.
And they might, if it's coming from a person, oftentimes they'll go away.
There's some people that actually like my friend, I love her. I don't want her to go away.
No.
I really would just love to like drop little seeds of positivity and hope and inspiration and hope that they grow and blossom in her heart so that she has a different point of view. That's what I want for everybody. Not that the way I think and feel is right,
Right.
but I like neutralizing the negativity. We do have to have duality in all things. There must be light and dark in all things. That's the balance. That's the order and balance in the experience. But I really feel like always, always the scale doesn't have to be balanced evenly. It just has to have some kind of balance. And so why not have the side that weighs the most with the good stuff that's like taking over be the love and light, the positivity, the affirmations, the gratitude, the joy, all the things that are birthright to have and to experience and to feel.
Yes.
It's so yummy.
It's so yummy. And there's other ways to clean and clear negative energy, which you know, there's the different types of sacred smoke and smudging and using essential oils and different stones. When this was many years ago, I was in a workplace and they had a very negative group of people that were in a particular office. And so I gave one of the workers in there, I gave him 5 hematite stones, small ones, and he scattered them around in places. And he hadn't even really done this. It was an experiment. He just scattered them around in unseen places, and the frequency shifted in that room
Mhm.
because the stones will do the work. And sometimes you don't even have to confront it directly. Sometimes it's just an assistance to put some our allies. These are our allies. So essential oils and smudging tools and different sort of crystals and rocks and positive things are all allies in our life process. And they're
Mhm.
here to help. It's collaborative energies. So being able to work smarter, we work smarter. And all these parts are part of this law of attraction of bringing in what if we want it to shift, we have to be the change.
Mhm.
Just like smudge myself. I'm very negative today.
I smudge myself on the regular.
There's another part that's recognizing that we're in a program and there's things are always moving through. There's lots of different planetary energies go through and people often like sort of like laugh and say, are we in Mercury retrograde again? These are aspects that we live in a cosmology where we're moving through space, and there are days where we wake up and you're just not feeling so bright and sunny on that day.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
And knowing that just like weather isn't always a sunny day, there are weather patterns in life and we may or may not understand them, but allowing for everything because happy um, isn't a natural state of being all the time. Like
Okay.
it's just we have ups and downs, hills and valleys, rises and falls.
I made a post today on happy,
You
like
did? I didn't
choose
see it.
happy. Yeah. Well, I am a realist, so I understand it's not all the time. And I'm sure people read it and were like, oh, gee, she wants us to be happy all the time. That's not what I'm saying. But you can choose. Like you literally can wake up feeling a certain way and you can feel your way through it and then choose a different way. Like everything does come down to a choice.
Yes, when we're living consciously. So I over the last few weeks I was just wanting something a little bit I wanted something to shift. So I had this essential oil blend that was joy. And I for several days I just chose to dress myself with joy. And I would just put on that oil. I'm just dressing myself with joy. I want more joy in my life, which I received. And it can be as simple as that.
Yeah.
You can grab an oil, you can do a little research, and you can just do it. It was very purposeful. When I would see it, I'd say, yep, I want to just put more joy in my life.
I don't even think you have to use the actual tool.
Yeah.
Again, everything is intention. You
Mhm.
can just say, I have a handful of joy and I'm going to rub it all over my body. It works like that. It is that simple.
Mhm. And so gossip, I don't know why that's coming up, but this like there can be like when we get together with friends and we're talking, um, sometimes depending on who it is and talking and what you can be mindful about, is this the frequency that I would want to hold about if you happen to be talking about people, is that the frequency you would want to send to that person, because there's no space and time. Everything is instantaneous. And so being mindful of the energy of words and how they're being utilized, and don't be afraid to be the person to say, well, we're going to send that person love and light, or whatever that looks like in wherever it is that you're interacting with. Or
Hmm.
what sort of contagion are you? Are
I
you
love
bringing?
that you brought that up. It also helps feed your law of attraction with goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's part of doing the work that we're talking about, not just wanting or desiring something, but really leaning into the act of receiving it and allowing it to come to you because of the work you've done and the frequency you hold.
Yes.
I love that. So,
So sometimes we're looking for an object or something to come into our life, but what we're really desirous of is what that would bring. So let's say if you had $1 million, what would the $1 million give to you? What would it offer for your life? And the behind the million is what it is that you're really desirous of.
mhm.
Less stress. So what you really want is less stress.
Peace and comfort and security and happiness, all of the things that you think the money will bring you, and all of the things you actually have access to inside of you right now in this moment.
Yeah.
It's never really about the material item.
No.
And at the end of the day, everything is an inside job. Like you create the reality. You may have things going on around you, like the negativity or the lack or the sadness, but you have the power to change that. Like literally, you do. That's the power that you use for your law of attraction. You use that energy to shift. Yeah, smile and nod. You
Well,
shared
there
so many. Oh, go ahead.
you go ahead.
Go ahead.
It's like tug of war. Um, yeah, that's like get
You lost
distracted.
it.
It's like, yep, lost it.
I was just going to say, you shared so many wonderful things tonight. Like, I really appreciate and value your point of view. You look at things so differently than I do. I know that I have like, uh, I, I've just learned to not take life so seriously. And I know it feels very serious for a lot of people, but I laugh a lot. Life literally is hilarious to me. And that's coming from that's me now coming from a very dark and traumatic past. And I didn't want my life to be like that. I wanted it to be like it is now. I wanted it to feel this joyous. And I had to do the work to get here. And I just want to say before we end everything, like if I could say anything at all, don't minimize your greatness. Don't minimize the power that you hold within yourself, that you are capable of having all you ever dreamed of and more, but it's an inside job. And so the more you work on yourself, the more abundance you will receive because the universe is watching. Your creator is watching you. They see what you're doing and the good work that you're doing, and they'll just continue to reward you with more. The more you work on yourself, the more you heal, the more you stand in gratitude, the more you have joy in your life. It's a powerful, magnetic work of art that takes place. And so I could just encourage you, like, as dark as it may feel, and you may feel you'll never have this, that, or the other material or inner stuff, inner feelings and emotions, just know, like, there's no reason to give up. Just shift your energy into believe in yourself if you feel like there's nothing else you can believe in. You're the one thing, the one person that you can count on at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so good.
Well, it's just facts. I've lived it. I know it. It's my truth. Take it or leave it. I love you anyway.
Sometimes you can do the biggest thing is to get up out of bed. And I, as most listeners will know, deal with people in really dark places where they're grieving. And some of the people I come across are really stuck, really just not, and don't even know, like no light in their life because they're in such a dark place. Sometimes you just need to go look at the sun. Maybe not directly, but look up and let the sun, close your eyes and let the sun just bake you with its warmth for a minute. That light is always there. It's an essence that says, go be in the sun for a little bit. Let it warm you and soak through you. We can be little solar panels. It gives us energy.
And I'm just singing in my head, of course.
Which one?
Yeah, summer camp songs, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down on me. No? Okay,
I didn't know that one.
just me.
That was super cute.
I'll sing it for you anytime.
Sun, Mr. Sun.
Yeah, we'll do it off screen.
Oh, that's fun. These things. So, I've said to people throughout my life that it's like, go work this, and if it doesn't work, please come back and tell me that it didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel confident that if anyone gives really, really goes forward and puts these things and implements them into their life will shift. I'm confident of that. But if it doesn't, then let us know. I did. Don't tell me that you tried the law of attraction. Just like, no, you're gonna practice
You have to
shifting the
practice.
mindset. You have to practice it. You don't try. To try is to enter the struggle. Now, Yoda said, they put it on Star Wars that said, there is no do or do not. There is no try.
It's true. There's a lot of truth in that show.
I know. There's really powerful messages in a lot of our movies.
It's been really awesome having you guys here in the chat room over on Facebook and YouTube while we've been live. Thank you for your participation and all of your conversation. We really do appreciate you, and we're so grateful that you show up and support yourself and us. It's so good. Thank you. Thank you. If you guys have a show topic request, make sure you email us at connect@soulwanderings.com. We do topic requests. We love topic requests. They're lots of fun. So if you have anything in mind, just send it our way. We'd love to hear from you. If you even just want to say hello. It's been a great conversation and a great topic. Thank you, Natalie. And Wanderers, you all have a very amazing week. We'll see you all next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Eastern. Good
Have a
night,
good
everyone.
one. Good night.